Hi everyone, good morning. Happy Monday. And
yeah, happy Monday.
is it Monday? I had to catch myself there. I'm like, where are we? What year is it? What day of the week is it? I don't know, but welcome back to Coffee with Kem and Hills. We are so excited to have you here virtually. Oh my goodness, did you have an okay weekend?
Yeah, weekend was good. It was a busy one. Felt like there's a lot of springtime babies in Leah's class, so we had a couple different birthday parties this weekend,
Aww.
which is really fun, and it's kind of nice because the last couple years, nobody's had parties.
Right, and she's like at the age now where she's actually going to birthday parties and making friends, and that's cute.
And loves the cake, and of course the candy and the games, so it's great.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's fun to see her kind of interact with some of her friends. So
well, that's nice. You got out and about.
Yeah.
I did nothing.
I love those weekends.
I did some work, did some school,
All
did
right.
some, things that you just have to do, but other than that.
That's not nothing. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it was just, kind of dull, but I kind of love it. I kind of love dull.
It feels good. It's nice to have those weekends.
Yeah, I kind of just want my nights like silent. My husband works at night as well, so he's away doing a show at night. And it's funny, it's nice spending your evening with your husband, but there is something also when you have a kid, just chaos. They go to bed and it's just like silent. I can watch whatever I want to watch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get to choose what you get to watch.
Yeah,
that's
it's just
nice.
it's so funny how suddenly doing nothing is like my favorite thing to do. It's so true. All right, let's get started on hot topics.
Hot topics.
Hot topics. According to CNBC, younger women are more likely to be primary income earners than in previous generations.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm not surprised. I feel
Yes,
like
I did just raise the roof, people. That happened.
She did. And that's because she's a part of the 1 in 3 millennial or Gen X women who have reported being the primary income earners in their household. That's awesome. It was only 20% in previous generations who carried their families financially. So women are
moving on up.
Women are moving on up. And I think we're feeling that. We know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think that it's awesome that 54% of all women that are high earners make more than or equal to their partner, which is really cool. So beyond the third 33% who are the breadwinners in their family, there's an additional 20% that are contributing at least as much, if not more, than their partner. So
Hey-o.
There you go.
I just hey-o'd.
We're taking it way back. We're taking it old school today on a Monday.
That's right. Feeling nostalgic. I don't know. 68% of millennials and I wrote gender X. Yeah, thanks, spell check. Gen X women say they are extremely anxious when there's a lot of uncertainty about their finances, but who isn't? I mean, are they even more anxious? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't believe it's only 68%.
Right. I know,
I feel like it should be 100%.
Yeah, right? Well, I guess, whatever, 34% aren't worried about it.
They're just lighting their money candles and whatever will be. I don't know. But the article, this kind of bothered me. So if you wrote this article, explain yourself. The article suggests that this financial anxiety is likely due to the fact that these younger generations haven't experienced financial hardships, but I would beg to differ.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you feel that way when you read it?
Yes. I was like, sorry, I started my career during a recession.
Yeah.
We technically are worth less as a generation than previous generations.
Yep.
So, yeah, no.
We feel like we're constantly playing catch up in a way.
Plus we have more student loan debt that basically wasn't a thing for previous generations.
Yeah.
So no, I was like, no, financial hardship has definitely happened.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the anxiety comes because we know
Right.
what can happen.
Right.
And so, there's that sort of that fear that festers inside us that it could happen again, which we're actually starting to experience right now in the world, a little bit of that. A lot of that, actually.
But in a different way. Like, we haven't dealt with inflation before as an issue. We've had...
It's a new hardship.
Yeah, it's a new hardship. Nobody had... Well, not nobody. Not since 1918 had people dealt with a global pandemic before. Right. So, like, this is all new to us. We're working through this just like other generations. And unfortunately, it might affect our generation more than any other generation. But I think we're always trying to learn. I think one of the things that it did say to help with the anxiety that women are feeling, or anybody, to be fair, that knowledge is power. And I think that really actually resonated with me because that's why we have ROI TV.
Yeah.
Because if you know about something, it makes it less scary, at least in my opinion.
And if you know about it, you likely will know how to fix it,
right.
Or can figure out a formula to fix it.
Right. You start on those baby steps that take you to the goal that you want. If you don't know about it, you don't know that it could be this huge looming thing coming at you. You aren't aware. That's even scarier. It's just like knowing what's happening in the dark. That's why nightlights are great, because you can see.
Do you have a nightlight?
No, not anymore. But I definitely slept with one for many years.
Oh, I slept with the overhead light on for many years as a kid. I was scared of the dark. Like full overhead right over my bed. Night, night. Electricity bill, not cute, probably. Yeah.
Right? I know. My daughter has 2, and I'm like, girlfriend, it is like bright in here. How do you sleep?
How do you sleep with this?
Because she wakes up with the sunshine, and you're like, oh.
I know.
That's why I kind of like the winter a little bit. I'm a summer weather person.
Yes.
But the sun comes up later, so she doesn't wake up as early.
See, that's nice.
During the wintertime.
Yeah.
But during the summertime, she's up at like 5 a.m.
You need to like tape some blackout curtains. Like
we have blackout curtains. Yes. We have regular curtains over it. Like
it's like they feel it.
Yes. She's just like, and then she'll peek behind them. She's like, sunshine's out. I'm awake.
Yep. The kids, they know.
They do.
They know.
Sorry, I digress.
As we do.
And then one of the other tips that they also talked about in terms of trying to prevent the anxiety that women are feeling, and again, anybody, when it comes to financial matters, is to write down your financial goals. And I think that this also really hit home to me because that is also what we talk about here on ROI TV a lot. Is that if you... And I think this goes for any goal you're trying to hit in your life.
Right.
Whether you're trying to run a marathon or trying to buy a home, save for a home. If you write down your goal and you write down the action steps to it, then you'll actually probably make it.
I think with what you're saying, with like implementing goals or identifying what your goals are, I think so many people over the pandemic did major pivots.
Right.
And so just, understanding what are maybe your new goals or setting new goals, or because a lot of people's lives look a lot different as a result of the pandemic.
Yep.
So maybe, you haven't sat down and really reevaluated this new life that you're living, and what are your goals in this new, situation that you have going on.
Right.
Because I think a lot of us are, if it's not changed completely, it looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like the economic landscape, whether it's within your actual family or just the macro environment, is completely different than it was 2 years ago. Literally 2 years ago today.
Yeah. I know. I can't believe we've been in this for that long.
I mean, depending on where you live. But yes, 2 years ago today, nobody was at work anymore.
Wow, that's nuts. I didn't put that together. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to take a commercial break and we're going to be right back to talk about some more hot topics. Welcome back, everyone. We've got a fun hot topic that we're going to be transitioning to now. 5 worst celebrity real estate investments, and what can we learn? What can we learn from these?
What can we learn?
I mean, there are some tips. It is hard to relate to some of them because we're talking major figures here, but just take the figures down a bit, and maybe we can all...
A tenth of the figures, possibly, depending on the person.
What I found most interesting is I just didn't realize, and we'll get into it, of course, but how many celebrities file for bankruptcy.
Right. And sometimes possibly because of poor real estate decisions.
Yeah, it's like filing for bankruptcy is like popping a Tic Tac.
Right.
It's like, no big deal, it's what we do. We'll get rich again, don't worry about it. It's just, I was surprised.
Yeah, me too.
So let's start with Farmington Mansion, Mike Tyson, and 50 Cent.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Same mansion.
Right.
Different mistakes.
You know, 52-room mansion.
Jeez.
It seems necessary.
I like that Mike Tyson bought it for $3 million and tried to sell it for $22 million because he thought, like, because his name was attached, he would like, you know.
Right, people would pay the premium.
Yeah.
Now, and this was also in the 80s when he tried to do this. So he did have that cachet, but also $22 million in the 80s was
So much more money.
A lot more money than it is now.
Yeah, and it took him years and years to sell it, and he ended up selling it for $4.1 million. So he made a little bit off of it years and years and years later.
Yeah.
But 50 Cent is my favorite because he wanted it to be an investment, but then he ended up doing it up. But he did it up to suit his fancy in a very specific way. So it wasn't for, like, you know,
a different millionaire person.
Yes.
It was for 50 Cent.
It was it was for him. So, yeah, he did. This was not cute for him. He listed the house for $18.5 million, never sold it, filed for bankruptcy, and sold it for $2.9 million.
So less than what he paid for it, and he put $6 to $8 million into the house. So he lost a chunk of change.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy, told you.
So the thing we can learn here is if you are going to put money into improve a house, do so that it is something that is sellable.
Yeah.
So you're putting money in where you'll see the return on your investment.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're like a fan of the 80s and then you create an 80s themed house, you probably aren't going to get a ton of people that, you know, have the same taste.
Right.
They might not be into an 80s house.
Right.
That's a niche market. So that's a good tip right there.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm surprised you know what I mean. It's the next one. Oh, this is good. Newport Beach, waterfront, Nicolas Cage. I feel like I didn't know that much about Nicolas Cage.
I knew he had lots and lots of properties. I knew that he had taxes that were too expensive to pay, and then I think therefore filed for bankruptcy.
You already knew about that?
I knew about that. I also know he already has his plot in a New Orleans cemetery with his mausoleum already built. So when he passes away, he's good to go.
What?
I have seen it.
Well, so
So a different house we're talking about.
His house was specifically, this Newport house was $25 million mansion, and then he had all of these other properties that were just eating up money. He wasn't, gaining a profit on any of the properties. They were just like eating up money.
Because you have to, have electricity, water, all the amenities.
Someone maintaining
plus somebody maintaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not making any money off of them.
Right. So there's your lesson right there. But he filed for bankruptcy. Can you believe it? Losing his Newport mansion and others. So the lesson here, don't own high maintenance properties. Because they're just, they'll
suck you dry.
They'll suck you dry. And then what? So don't do what Nicolas Cage did. Okay, next, Manhattan high-rise hotel, Jay-Z. Big hopes, big dreams.
Right.
All falling apart. I thought it was cute. I didn't know Jay-Z was going to start an entire line of hotels called J Hotels.
Yeah, this was news to me. I'd never heard about this venture before.
That's how far he got with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he purchased a luxury hotel and started renovating it, but the value of the hotel dropped and the deal took too long and he ended up losing $3.7 million, and these setbacks looked bad to the lenders, and the rest is history. Sorry, Jay-Z, your dream of your hotel empire came to a crashing halt. But who knows? You're married to Beyonce. I feel like you could do anything.
Right. And he's made a ton of great business decisions in general. I'm sure, yes, like
I'm sure he's fine.
3.7 million is a chunk of change, but
Yeah.
he's probably going to be okay.
What about B hotels?
Hey.
Everyone would go.
I know,
I love
seriously.
Beyonce.
I mean, I'm sure it had a great concept, but yeah, it's just too bad it didn't work out.
I know. Oh, I skipped one. I mean, come on. Of course this is on here. Neverland Ranch, Michael Jackson.
Ah, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, this is loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a whole episode in itself, and I don't even know if it's appropriate for us to go down that rabbit hole, but he invested $35 million into this property, which included a Ferris wheel, a zoo, a large theater, and so on.
Right.
But with all the controversy that hit his career, he wasn't able to afford it, tried to sell it, but that's also hard because of the controversy surrounding his, you know.
Right.
You know.
Right.
The property, he listed it for $100 million.
Seems like a nice number.
It's a nice number.
I mean, it's got a Ferris wheel, right?
It has a Ferris wheel. Yep. But someone did end up buying it for $22 million, which is not $100 million.
Nope.
And it was immediately renovated and renamed.
I mean, as you would, right?
Yeah, they were trying to clean slate.
Yes, totally.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back, so don't you go anywhere. All right, welcome back. I just wanted to remind everyone not to miss today's episodes of Your Money, Your Wealth, ETF Stories, and Life's Third Act. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Coffee with Kem and Hills. You can check out all of these episodes on
Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your phone via our iOS or Android apps. Make sure to invest in yourself and check out the shows.
That's right.